Welcome back to Budget Beauty. This is Budget Beauty's main series where I do long form content and I do a look from start to finish with a theme possibly. I am Lindsay Beatty. I am the face and the creator of Budget Beauty. And today we're doing purple. Just because I was like, I haven't done purple in a minute and I have some purple eyeshadow that I've not used apparently, and I was like, well, I'll do purple and pull a look together and see how it works with this eyeshadow that I've apparently never used. I bought it and I just not used it yet. So it's purple. Also in anticipation of the Prince celebration of life. I think it's coming. It's June 2nd through June 5th, and we are at the end of May. So, in celebration of that, I decided I also was going to do a little bit of purple. Even though, fun fact, Prince's favorite color was not, in fact, purple. It is most associated with him because of Purple Rain and that whole album and that whole era with the Revolution. However, his favorite color, it turns out, was orange. He actually talked about it in an interview right before he died. He talked about how orange was his actual favorite color and not purple. And people were like, but Purple Rain though. And he was like, yeah, but that could also not be my absolute favorite color. I can't have other favorite colors. So yes, I do know that about Prince. I was a massive Prince fan as a child and as an adult. So, yeah, I really wish I could be in Minneapolis for the celebration of life. But because I would love to visit First Avenue and see all the stuff and see the things that they've done in the years since he's died and go visit the vault, and because I would love to go to Paisley Park so much. But I don't get on planes, and so that would be a whole thing for me. So, yeah, that's kind of a no-go. But I am a Prince fan from afar. So, yeah, I'm gonna do some purple today. So, to get started, let us do our eyeshadow primer and our face primer, and then we'll go from there as we usually do. So also, we had a bit of an adventure this morning. Before I do that, let me introduce the products that I am going to be using for these two things. For the eyeshadow primer, we're going to use the Ulta Beauty Collection Pigment Pop Longwear Eye Primer. This is a white eyeshadow primer, so yes, it will make the pigment pop. It is pretty nice. I like it. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I like a few things in that Ulta Beauty collection. There's some things where I'm like, come on, Ulta, you can do a little bit better with this. But this one is actually pretty good and it's not crazy expensive. So, it's the Ulta house brand, so you can go get it and it'll be fine. And then also for the face primer, we're going to use the Touch and Soul No Problem Primer. It's this. This is pretty good. I like it. The name is a little weird, but I like this primer. It makes my face feel really smooth and ready to go when I'm ready to do my foundation. And this is what the Ulta Beauty Pigment Pop Primer looks like. So, all right. I'm going to put this on and then I'm probably going to use a tool to spread this out. Maybe. Let's hope that I don't put like a ton on my eye. Actually, as a matter of fact, we're not even going to do that. We're going to use the tool and put it on the tool and then spread it out. So anyway, yeah, we had a little bit of an adventure this morning. So I got up this morning and also so you note, and you see this, I have done my actual hair. I've let it out. I washed it a couple of days ago and because I like to split up my hair business because it is time consuming. I have extremely thick and extremely coarse hair, and so I like to split it up. If I wash and blow dry it, Also, it was storming the other day. Right as I was getting ready to do all of this, it started thundering, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta hurry up and finish this." So I did not have time to do anything beyond blow drying it, washing, conditioning, and blow drying. So anyway, I split it up, and I said, "Well, I'll get up Saturday morning and I'll do my hair. I will do something for like detangling and straightening and all of that." So it was mostly detangled when I blow dried it. But then I put it in some puffs and I left it alone. Because also I haven't gone anywhere, and I have not worn makeup in several days. So I was like, I didn't leave the house. So I was like, well, I'll do that later on Saturday. So I got up this morning, and that's what I did. So I flat ironed it first, and then I went to and I flat ironed it in a lot less time than I thought, because I was like, oh, well, I'll just I'm gonna be done before my deadline here. So as I'm going to start doing the curling part of things, I said, well, I got to grab this thing for my hair to pull my hair up in a bun. Let me go grab it. So I go back in our bedroom. And from our bedroom, you can see our backyard. So I get in the bedroom, and I'm getting the stuff, and I happen to look in my backyard, and I see this random car parked back there. And I'm like, because we are the only people on our street that have access to the backyard to be able to pull in my backyard with a car. Okay. I have a fence and all of that. And it's generally, people don't mess around back there. Okay. And for years, we used to use that area to wash our cars and like park in the backyard if we needed to park back there and all of that. So when I looked out in the backyard, and I'm like, that's a random car out there. What car is that in my backyard? So I said, what the hell? Let me go on out here and see what this is about. So I had to throw on some sweatpants and flip-flops and a jacket, because I knew the mosquitoes were out and they were going to tear me up. So I said, well, I said, I don't want to be getting mosquito bites everywhere on this tender, fat skin, because that is going to be a problem way later. Okay. So I get out there and I'm investigating. I'm looking at the car, and I said, now, wait a minute. This ain't nobody I know. It ain't my car. It ain't my husband's car. So, because Mr. Budget Beauty is at the job. Okay. So I'm home. I'm off today. My car is parked in the front of my house. So y'all girl said, let me look to see. So it turns out the car windows are all busted out. And then up underneath the steering wheel, it was all tore up. And I said, this looks suspicious. Let me go and call the fuzz and get them over here. Get the heat down here, because this looks like this gonna be a problem. So I said, well, let me go ahead. I did. I called them. I called the county, because we are in the county. So the county comes out. Mr. County Man comes out. County Sheriff's Deputy. And so I'm explaining to him. And when I called, I had explained, and they were like, yeah, we'll send somebody out. Dispatch. So I said, cool. So I stood out there and waited. He came around the front, and I was like, you really needed to come in the back, but okay. So Sheriff's Deputy gets there, comes in the back, and I'm, telling him what happened, what I think happened. And I was like, I don't know whose car this is. This is not my car. Not at all. I don't know whose car this is. So he investigating. He says, and I said, they got like one of them temporary VIN numbers on the car. So, and it ain't got no plate on it. Okay. So he said, okay, well, let me run it and see what's going on. Let me run that VIN number and see what's going on, because maybe this is stolen. So he comes back and he says, I waited about 10 minutes, and he comes back and he says, you want the good news first? I got good news and I got bad news. And I said, oh, give me the good news first. He said, well, they'll come. There's a tow truck coming to get this car. and at no cost to you because it's not yours. And on top of that, this is a problem because it's on private property. The bad news is the car was in fact stolen. So this is where it gets goofy. Okay. So I'm thinking it's the goofy car lot down the street from my house. Because for whatever reason, these fools built a car lot and opened a car lot down the street from my house. Makes no sense. Okay. Why you would put a car lot in a residential neighborhood. But whatever. So I'm thinking it's them. No, it turns out it's a car dealership from up the street from our house. And I know exactly where it is, because when the tow truck got there, they came and the owner came down. And so I talked to him very briefly, and he said, he asked me, you the owner of the house? I said, yeah. Listen, he said, I'm the owner of that car. I said, oh really? I said, it's mighty funny how it got in my yard. And he says, well, I got video of how it got in your yard, more than likely. And I said, oh really? So I was talking to him some, and he was telling me some little feller, he got a video of some little feller stealing his car. He owns a car dealership. So the little fella done stole 2 cars off the lot and stashed one of them in my backyard. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I'm just sitting there looking like, that's crazy. And so he had his tow truck come and get it, and he thanked for me for keeping it there, at least temporarily, and calling the cops to come get it, because I was like, I didn't know what was going on. I was like, this is not my car. And so, real nice man. And so he was more than happy to come get it. And so he said, I got video of him stealing the car of the car that was in my yard. He got video of him stealing the other car. But in the video of him stealing the car of the first car, the other car that wasn't in my yard, the car that is in my yard was also in that video. So I said, oh, so he came back and got this one. Okay. So I don't know if he is known to the proper authorities, but he sure will be very shortly. I'm like, guy, how you get me involved in this? Like, I'm minding my own black ass business. Why are you putting stolen cars in stolen property? Grand Theft Auto also. Why are you storing stolen property in my property? Like, man, get out of here. Because the cop was looking at me like, and I was like, hold on, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with this. I just woke up and happened to see this in my yard. So I'm trying to nail down a timeline, because I was like, I don't think it was in here last night. I don't recall seeing nothing out here last night. My husband didn't see anything. So, we trying to narrow down the time. And I'm like, okay, well, this is some foolishness. So I called Mr. Budget Beauty, and I was like, well, you'll never believe what happened this morning. So yeah, that was a little adventure. The tow truck came and pulled it, and he helped me put my fence back together, because my fence is, and see, this is how they got in. The fence is all falling apart. So we've been needing to get new fence. And so the guy who did the tow truck pulling, he put some zip ties out there. So yeah, that was enough adventure. I was like, enough adventure for today. So now let's work on these eyes. This is the ColourPop cream gel liner. This is in the shade, I think this is Amethyst Hour. I don't remember. I think this is an Amethyst Hour, but this is the cream gel liner. And it's a chrome one. But it's purple, so that's what we want. So I'm going to cut the crease with this, because we're not going to cut it with black. I want it with purple. Now, on camera, it looks black until I start fooling with it. But you can see there's a purple outline there. But yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going in the house. Let me finish my head. So in the time between when the cop left and when the tow truck man showed up and the owner showed up to get it, um, the the I had done my hair. I'd finished doing my hair. I told the cop, I was like, I was just trying to do some hair makeup today. I was not here for this morning. This is some straight up foolishness, sir. So, this purple. I'm going to add a little bit of this purple pencil. This is from the Ulta Beauty collection. This is their Ulta Beauty gel eyeliner in the shade Iris Blooms. So this is also purple. It adds a little bit, and I do like this pencil. It's okay. I would not use this as a main pencil though. I would use this in conjunction with something else as I'm doing. But it's an alright pencil. It also does not sharpen, so once this is done, it's done. This pencil was probably like $7 or $8 when I went to Ulta. My thing with the Ulta collection, with the Ulta Beauty collection, they be trying to price themselves like they the Sephora house collection. And I'm like, should you be doing that though? Like, I mean, the Ulta Beauty collection stuff is good. Don't get me wrong. I like it. I've had some failures in that though, but I do like some of the stuff. Like, I like this pencil. I got a green one that's pretty good too. But I bought another pencil in there and the thing just broke on the day that I bought it. Like, the time I opened it up, went to go put it on my eye, it broke. And I was like, so, and it was not sharpened. It was not a sharpening able to be sharpened. Let me put it that way. So yeah, I was none too pleased. All right. So now let's talk about this eyeshadow. So I think we are going to, I was going to do a pinup lash line, but I don't think I'm gonna. I'm going to use this. This is the Maybelline Color Tattoo. This is a shimmer stick. Maybelline Color Tattoo 24-hour eye stick. And this is in the shade I Am Fearless 55. I Am Fearless. And this is a purple. I've used it before and I like it. It's good. As are the other ones in the line. And then we're going to, it says it's a shimmer stick, but you got to add to it. So, and it is in fact shimmer. As I'm putting this on my eye, it is in fact shimmer. But you're going to have to add something to this because it's a little dry. And the shimmer is not necessarily like super visible. I mean, you guys, you can see that as I'm adding this to my eye, but you can't see the shimmer. I can, only because I'm looking in this mirror and I'm super close to my face with the mirror. So yeah, I can see it that way. But we're going to need to add something to this. It's pretty though. I will give it that. Maybelline does not miss with like color. Like, I like their pigmentation. I like their formulas. And this is, despite being a little dry, it's not hesitating. That's the thing. It's not hesitating at all. It's just a little dry feeling. It's not a creamy feeling. Until I got it over here. Now, once I started doing this and I got it on this eye, it is creamy feeling. But at first when I was doing it on this eye, boy, that thing was a bit dry. And that might just be me. So that, like I say, I don't generally have problems with this stick. So, I'm gonna put that back down in there. Okay, there we go. All right. So the purple has been applied, as you can see. It looks like it's a matte, but I promise y'all, if I get in close and if I can close my eye a little bit, you can see the shimmer a little bit. So we're going to help it out with This is the ColourPop All Amethyst palette, and it has 9 shades in it. They're all purple, and as usual, they give them names. Starting from the top, Brilliant, High Grade, Trigonal, okay, Trigonal, Feb's Gem, which is Amethyst, Sunbird, Fist or That, Amulet, Crystal Crazy, and Royal Affair. So those are all the names going across. Okay. So all I need to know is, let me get a shade out of here that I really want to try. And first glance, Amulet and Sunbird are just jumping out at me. Trigonal is like a light purple, like a lilac almost, lavender almost. These two, this one and this one. This one is almost blue, but it's purple. It's like a it's a shimmer, but it's almost blue. But it's really purple. Sunbird though, I think Sunbird is gonna be the one we need. But that Amulet is gorgeous. I'm not even gonna lie. That Amulet is popping. That color Amulet, that is absolutely stunning. I wish y'all could see this where it doesn't appear blue, but it is purple. The shift is very much purple. So we're gonna go in with Sunbird to add. And this is a ColourPop palette, so y'all know this pigment gonna be fire. Okay, let's be real. The pigment's gonna be absolutely fire. And yes, see, it adds that shimmer and dimension to this look. Very pleased with this. Immediately, I'm very pleased with it. That is gorgeous. That shimmer is just the right amount of shimmer. It is, and it makes it pop. Now, again, you still can't really see it because I'm kind of far away, but y'all, this shimmer is amazing. And we are going to add a little bit of Amulet because I'm curious to see how that's going to play with this purple. Maybe it makes it look crazy, maybe it doesn't. But now you can see the shimmer on my eyes much better. That's from this Sunbird color. That is beautiful. Very impressed. All right, so let's play with Amulet and see what she has. I'm very curious to see how this is going to play. Amethyst is also my in June, I think. Oh, that adds a little bit of, ooh, okay. I like that too. That deepens the shimmer. Okay. Because it's a deeper, obviously a deeper, almost blue purple shade. Yeah, I like that. That just added a little bit of deepness to that shimmer. Because it too is a shimmer shade. That's why it looks as blue as it does. This is really pretty. I used to not like purple as a child, which was weird. Despite being a massive Prince fan and Purple Rain, I did not like purple. Purple was just not something something about the color just seemed odd to me. I am an armchair doctor. I'm not a doctor. I do not have a degree in medicine in any way, shape, or form. I also do not have a degree in psychology or anything. But I'm pretty sure, based on some things, some behavioral patterns and traits that I exhibited as a child, I am very, very, very certain. Like, I have probably a 90% confidence level that I had ADHD, that I was on the spectrum for ADHD and for autism. Now, the autism probably wasn't like level, like a high level of autism, but it was probably, I also have a purple in this, I just realized. I have several purples in this, a lilac and a deep purple. But I've used this palette like once or twice. That Ruby Kisses Waikiki Beach palette. It's all right. Anyway, the ADHD. But as a child, I exhibited some signs, some things that, some behavioral traits that, I'm trying to put this back up underneath here in my kit. Some behavioral traits that speak to spectrum disorders. Because as a child, very hyperactive. I had beyond like the normal hyperactivity for a child. Like I was hype, as the as kids like to say. I was hype all the time, like all day and all night, from the time I woke up until the time I actually bothered to lay down and go to sleep. I was just at all times. So brain just in overdrive, thinking about things, just thinking about things. I would see something outside and I'd be like, I wonder how that works. I should go probably look that up. Let me go look in the encyclopedia. Because there was no internet until I was like 12. So there was no such thing as internet until 93. So where it was like widely available in schools and all of that. So yeah, I was like, let me go look it up. So I would like, and I would hyper fixate on researching things and like learning things and doing things. So yeah, it's not a surprise. So now to interject here, we're going to do mascara. This is, of course, for my lash primer. This is the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer. Super volume with superfruits. But yeah, I hype 9,000% of the time. And hyperfixation. I also had problems with certain textures. Now, as an adult, a lot of this I don't want to say I've outgrown it, but it does not bother me as much. Like I've desensitized myself to it, I guess. Not to give credence to exposure therapy, but basically exposure therapy. I just don't, it doesn't bother me and I don't notice it as much. So like the color purple. Purple, when I was a child, the color used to bother me. Like I would not wear purple clothes. I wouldn't touch things that were purple if I could help it. The exception being Purple Rain. But I also didn't like the song either. That was the nut job thing about it. I didn't like the song because it had the name Purple in it. And I would skip it on the soundtrack. Also, it's a very long song and it just is very long. And I didn't like super long songs. I got bored about halfway through, so but it's very much it was very, very telling that Purple Rain was not one of my favorite songs on that soundtrack. I did go see the movie as a child, but like I say, Purple, because Prince outweighed Purple. So in my mind, I justified this by, okay, well, it's Prince. So our love for Prince outweighs our dislike for Purple. And so I can put up with it and I can deal with it. Like I would just bargain with myself and be like, I guess I can deal with this. I guess I can put up with it for a couple of hours, I guess. But extended, we're going to sit down and listen to Purple Rain. We're going to touch the album cover. We're going to do all this. No, we're not doing all that. So it was odd. I had problems with food textures, bread very specifically. I did not like sandwiches. If I had a sandwich, it was because I would tell my mom I want a sandwich, and I wanted sandwich. What I meant by sandwich was sandwich meat and cheese, and I would roll it up. And my mom would be like, "Do not waste my bread." I'm like, because bread was expensive. Everything was expensive according to my mom. Which, listen, my mom did not lie, so she was telling the truth. But yeah, bread was a whole thing. Did not like bread and would not eat bread because I did not like bread. the way bread felt. Not tasted, felt. I didn't like the texture of it. As an adult, though, I eat a sandwich all day long. Probably gonna get one for lunch. Probably. I love sandwiches. Now, it's like I'm talking about like a full, it's bread, meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, all of that. Mustard, all of that. I hated ketchup. And I still don't. Every so often I might have ketchup on my French fries, but or like if it comes on a burger, I'll deal with it, and I don't see it, and I'm like, okay, well, fine, whatever. I know ketchup's on it. So I won't go out of my way to be like, no ketchup, like to demand it be taken off a sandwich. But if I have a choice of putting it on, I'm not putting it on. I'm going to put mustard on before I put ketchup. I also eat my French fries with mustard. I do not eat ketchup with my French fries. Every so often, I might want ketchup with fries. Every so often. But also the acid in tomatoes bothers me. So I love tomatoes, and I love tomato paste and tomato sauce and all of that. But I don't like ketchup. And the acid in ketchup, probably the vinegar in ketchup, bothers me. Barbecue sauce. Regular barbecue sauce, I don't like. I prefer mustard-based barbecue sauce. I prefer not to have ketchup-based barbecue sauce if I can help it. Now, if I can't help it and that's what I got, that's my choice. That's literally the default, and that's what you're gonna get, and that's what I get. But yeah, trying to think. Certain clothing textures, velvet. I absolutely despise velvet. And I do have a pair of velvet shoes that I bought myself as an adult. I did not realize they were velvet until I bought them. And I ordered them and I got them and I was like, oh no, this is velvet. I guess I gotta wear it. I don't want to touch it. I did not want to touch it at all. No, thank you. So for the mascara, I quickly interject. For the mascara, we're going to use the House Labs, and we're going to use the Lash Princess, Essence Lash Princess. This is the House Labs B-Structural Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. This is going to give me the volume, and then the false lash effect is going to give me the volume and length. But yeah, very, very weird. I was like, I do not want to touch it. So, pretty sure I had the ADHD as a child, and very certain that I'm very mildly autistic. I at least share some traits on that spectrum. Because they are considered spectrum disorders. They are very much linked, and they are considered spectrum disorders in modern medicine. They've revised things over time. But I'm also a kid of the 80s and 90s, and I'm telling you, it's got to be something it had to be something in the food. Something in the food and the environment, because every kid that I know born in the 80s, especially the early 80s, late 70s, has something going on. Something. Don't know for sure what it is, but every kid got something going on. Upstairs. So, I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly, but I know a lot of kids with ADHD and a lot of kids who have mild, at the bare minimum, mild autism. And they're all like my age. So I promise you, it is a trend. And I'm going to tell y'all this because I say this all the time, but my line of work as an auditor and an accountant, I ain't met one yet that ain't weird and ain't got something going on. That line of work tends to attract a certain type of person. Let's put it that way. It attracts a certain type of person and a certain type of mind and how a very specific mind works. And that's not to say that there's anything like wrong with people. Like and I've said this, I've learned to live with the kind of person I am. Okay. So knowing that I most likely have ADHD, because I've never been tested as far as I know. They did test for the hyperactivity, but I don't know if it was very specifically for ADHD or back in the day how they called it ADD. I don't know if it was for that specifically. My mom never told me and never was like, hey, we had you tested very specifically for ADD. She said, yeah, we noted the hyperactivity, like obviously hyperactivity, but I was never medicated as a child. I have some family members who were, because they were extremely hyperactive, but they were also born in 1985. So that right there, I was like, yep, probably. Probably. So I don't know. And they were heavily medicated. They had to be, because there was no way they were going to be able to function otherwise. Like, the kid just did not sleep, period, at all. Point blank, period. So yeah, no, that was detrimental to the kid. Like, that was a problem. This is the false lash effect. This is the Essence Lash Princess false lash effect version of the mascara. So yeah, I'm not surprised by this. But also, one of the things, and the reason why I say it had to be something in the food or the environment, and quite possibly something the parents were doing, both myself and the family member that had to be medicated as a child, our parents smoked. And so, and we share one, like, it's a cousin. So, yeah. So her dad and my mom are, brother and sister. So that's why I'm like, yeah, it's probably something in the environment, and also smoking probably contributed. In my case, I know for certain it did. And this was before they realized that, smoking while pregnant was a really bad idea. So yeah, I'm very certain that is where my issues start. That is the start of my issues. So yeah, no, I mean, other than that though, I'm fine. Didn't have any other like health problems or anything. I was anemic as a kid, but I wasn't like deathly ill or anything. I'm not anemic now, to tell you that. So yeah, pretty sure pretty much everybody my age got some issues. If you're born in the middle of the 80s, beginning to the middle of the 80s, and some of them kids in the 90s, you probably got something going on. Probably. You had to go talk to some folks while you were in school. Now there's resources for it, but back then in the 80s, they wasn't trying to give them kids no resources. They literally tried to beat it out of you. And then be like, oh, well, we don't understand why they're like this. They need to get whooped more, basically. I'm like, Jesus. Not beating it out of me. Yes, beat it out of me. More than once, I can recall getting a whooping in school. And having, this was the crazy thing, and having a form sent that my mom made. Like, my mom drew it up, wrote it out, had it notarized, and signed it, and had it put in my permanent file every year I was in elementary school. That said, I give the teachers and administration absolute authority and approval to whoop Lindsay's ass if she acts up in class and acts out and has been sufficiently warned and told this is not acceptable behavior. Y'all, every year I saw it in like my probably, I want to say my second grade years when I actually saw the form. And she was like, of course I had them do that. Because in second grade, I want to say I was in first or second grade, I got a massive whooping for doing something. I don't even remember what it was. And I was just like, well, I was like 5 of them in there whooping me. So whatever it was I did was pretty terrible. Because my teachers were not the type to just randomly snatch kids up and beat them. Okay, they were not. So it had to have been something, and I'm thinking it was something I did that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and so because I routinely did stuff at the house that was like, that older adult me would be like, Lindsay, you know better than that. Stop it. Like, stop it. You know better than that. So yeah, I got whooped all the time. Until I got to be like older. So, all right, now we are ready to turn our attention to the face. I'm looking at this. I have not used this often at all. Trying to see why the bottom of this looks like this, but all right. This is, so for the foundation, because our face is being ready, that's why we do them at the same time. My face is ready. It's very soft. It smells good. We are going to use, for the foundation, we're going to use the Black Opal True Color. This is in the shade, I have to find the shade on here. This is the Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundation. I like it. This is in the shade Hazelnut. I bought this from Ulta. And I do like this. This is pretty good. And for the concealer, new product alert. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Incognito All Day Full Coverage Concealer. So this is a little bit lighter, obviously. I put this up against my skin. You can see that's clearly lighter. This is in the shade Tan Deep. Now, generally, Wet n Wild Tan Deep tends to be the right shade for things. For this, we're gonna do brightening under eye. So this being brighter, much brighter than this, as you can see, should be okay, because we want to brighten under the eye. So we'll see. If it's not, I got ways to fix that. So I'm not that concerned about it. Not that jumped up about it. I've used this Black Opal foundation like once, and so it's all right. Color wise, it matches like it's supposed to. All right, I did 1.5 pumps. Okay. I'm trying to find a brush. Just like a contour. I don't want to do that. It's not the right brush. Okay. This is my M107 foundation brush from Morphe. I got my Real Techniques palette, and we are gonna put some on. I really need to do. I need to wash my brushes and clean them. I have not, and y'all girl is lazy, and so also, I would like an excuse to use it in my fancy new bathroom sink. And so I'm gonna, at some point, gonna do it. Maybe today. I do have time. Maybe tomorrow. Because I will have time tomorrow to do. I am not planning to leave the house today. Also, probably not watching Svengoolie tonight. I have been watching Svengoolie the last couple of weeks, since we first got MeTV to be able to watch it. I love the show. Absolutely adore the House of Sin with the Spin Squad. I absolutely love them. I adore them. But this week, and the reason why we're not watching this week is because the big broadcast is fixing to have a movie about Earth versus the Spider. And I'm like, absolutely not. We're not doing that. I want to be able to sleep tonight. So, we're not doing that. So as soon as they announced that, I was like, we're skipping that week. So I'll watch something else tonight. And see what else. But I do enjoy the big broadcast. I do. I very much enjoy Svengoolie. It is right up my alley. I like watching really dumb sci-fi horror films, and like goofy science fiction stuff like that. So it's very much very fun for me. I've gotten the husband hooked on watching it too, and so we watch it together on Saturday nights. Last week was Dr. Cyclops. That was actually pretty good. That came out in 1940. I thought that was very cool. So I've watched a lot of things. Then they did Rosemary's Baby for the House of Svengoolie. So we got to see Pinup Palmer as Gwen Gooley. And we got to see Imp, and we got to see Nasty. I was so excited. I was like, ah! My husband was like, I know you're excited. You get to see Gwen Gooley finally. And I was like, I do. I love it. But yeah, I loved it. I'd never seen Rosemary's Baby before. I had never seen it. I knew what it was, and I know the plot of the movie before I watched it, but I liked it. They cut it up. They said that a lot of people were like, oh no, they chopped up the movie. I'm like, well, they probably had to cut a few things in order to fit the broadcast. Like, I expect that. So I'm not that mad about that. If I want to watch the full thing, I'll just go rent it or something, or watch it on whatever streaming service. I don't really care. What I'm watching here for is for the squad. I'm really watching for the squad. So yeah, it was fine. As y'all can see, this does buff out very well, and it matches very, very closely. So I did pick the right shade of this foundation. But yes, very, very, very excited because I got to see Pinup Palmer, who now shows up in the People You May Know for Me on Facebook. I'm like, that lady don't know me from Adam on the street. I promise you. She does not know me. Why is it pulling her up as People You May Know? And so I'm like, I'm a huge fan, and I follow her on YouTube, which also might contribute to her popping up in the People You May Know. But I'm like, I'm not fixing to be creepy auntie. This lady don't know me. I was like, I don't want to be weird, and like send her a friend request, and she'll be like, oh, it's you. You're a fan. We don't accept friend requests. Like, stop it. This old lady over on the East Coast is out here doing this. No, thank you. So, I do not. But as y'all can see, that was a perfect shade. Y'all see that, right? That is the perfect shade for this concealer. Very, very pleased. So yeah, I've been watching Spin, and I really, really enjoy it. Kind of mad that I didn't know about it until I watched. I've been following Pinup Palmer for about 2 years at this point. I didn't know about it until she did her because it kept popping up and showing me that she was Gwen Gooley, and I'm like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Why is Sarah Palmer in? Like, that was literally my face, because I'm like, why is she in this thing? But I watch all of her other things for her Pinup Palmer channel. And so I'm like, well, let me go find out. So then she did the episode about being a horror host, a national horror host. And like Sven is like the last one. So I'm like, oh, word? That's right up my alley. Actually, that's really cool because I would really enjoy that sort of thing. That is a very niche sort of thing to be into, and I would be very much into this. Campy horror. Like, I am the person who, I'm sitting here looking at it right now. I have a replica box that is like a cigar box of the recently deceased handbook. The handbook for the recently deceased from Beetlejuice. Like, that's my sort of thing. I have a thing here that says better late than ugly. Like, yeah, that's yeah. Like I say, and y'all heard me say this before, I am the type of kid, I was the kid who laughed in Addams Family and Addams Family Values, like dying laughing. I have a very morbid, campy sense of humor, dark humor, but just morbid and campy. So yes, yeah, not surprised at all. I actually kind of want to put something on here with this mascara. So yeah, I was a weird kid and I'm a weird adult. So yeah, I very much. So when I saw and I found out what Svengoolie was, immediately was like, we gotta get Me TV. We gotta get access. And I'm mad because when we went to Florence recently, we were there for a conference for my husband. They actually had Me TV as a channel on the cable, and I was like, they got Me TV up here. Well, I wouldn't have to use my app then if we'd been up here on Sunday or Saturday, because I could have watched then. But yeah, I just added a little bit here of the Wet n Wild Mega Length mascara, because I just wanted to add a little bit, because it does a little bit of lengthening. But yes, so face is done. As y'all can see, like I say, this was perfect. That was the perfect shade for my under eye, and it brightened underneath the eyes considerably. I did a little bit over here, a little bit over there. Yeah. And I like that black opal. That black opal matches perfectly. I did not need to do a whole lot. It is not too dark. It is not too too light. It's perfect shade. I'm just doing a little bit of cleaning up here on the top because I did not get very close to my edges. Also, I did a thing. I cut my hair again. I shaved it in the back. As you can see, y'all can maybe see it a little bit. But I shaved it like right here. I shaved it all the way up to the top. So, it's very cute. I like it. But my head has been cold. My head has been cold. Alright. Now, let's talk about blush. We're ready for blush and setting and all of that. Alright, so for the liquid cream blush, because I'm wearing purple, I'm going to use this Essence Soft Touch Bouncy Blush, which I love. I realized I had a shade that is dark, like purple-ish, is leaning toward purple. This is the shade Roses and Berry, number 40, Roses and Berry. I bought a bunch of these, and I really like them. So I'm going to see if I can grab, this was a liquid contour. I'm not going to use contour. I want to use this though. Actually, no, I don't. I'm trying to see if I can find that's a concealer brush. I don't want to use that. Full coverage eye brush. Don't want to use that. I'm trying to find a knot because I really need to clean my brush and for my my blush and highlight and all, and okay, yeah, I use this one because this one is a liquid highlighter, but I very seldom wear highlighter, so it'll be fine. All right, so I picked some up on the brush, and we're gonna stipple it on. I actually really like this. It's buildable, and it's very pigmented, as you can see. Now, see, in the mirror, for me, it doesn't look super pigmented, but on camera, I can see it over there. I can see exactly where I'm putting it, right there. So, yeah. But I do like this, do like the Essence Soft Touch Bouncy Blush. This is very good. It's a cream blush. And, because I was like, is it powder or is it cream? It's a cream. So, let's see, that looks really pretty. I like how that turned out. And it kind of sort of matches this purple. Try to add a little bit more because I added a bunch over here. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That's really pretty. That's this. So, all right. Let us now powder this face down. So, all right, for the powdering, we're going to use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder in the shade Banana. I very seldom use this, but it is good. I do like it a lot. There's a lot in here, too. Good gracious. I must have already done pushed some of this out. So, yeah, I do very much enjoy Svengoolie a lot. So what we're doing, I'm taking my Pyramid Puff, put it on here. As y'all can see, there's a ton on here. And I'm trying to knock some of it off, because that is a lot. And then prime it in my hand real good, and then we're going to set. But I don't want to do a whole lot of powder everywhere, because it's a lot of powder on here. So I probably don't need to dip back into the thing again, because it's a lot of powder. So if I take what I put on my face here and move it around and appropriate it to do the allocation factor and put it where I need to put it, it should be fine. I have been dealing with allocation factors for the last week or so because I'm working on my home office stuff, and so they have an allocation factor, which in the process of doing this, if you have a nursing home, you're going to have some type of, they're going to have a home office. Some of them have home offices, some of them do not. So what happens here is they will have a home office, and they have to allocate the expense from the home office down to the nursing home, because they gotta take some of that expense too now. You ain't getting out of this scot-free, basically, is what's happening here. So I've been dealing with what is the percentage that you're going to allocate your expense from your home office expenses down to your nursing homes. So that's a thing that I'm learning. It's interesting. It's very interesting. How are you going to allocate that cost? And did you allocate it correctly? Like, if you didn't allocate it correctly, we have a problem. I'm putting this back. That's why I'm leaning down there. But if you didn't allocate it correctly, that's a problem, because that's also something we need to figure out. How are you allocating this cost? And did you do it right? So we'll see. It's actually a very interesting concept. Now, as you can see, my face is powdered down. It did keep my blush. So We're going to use very little powder blush. Very little. And for the powder blush, I do not have the purple Fenty blush because I kept ignoring it and being like, I'm not going to buy the purple Fenty blush. So I didn't. But this is the Fenty Cheeks Suede Powder Blush in the shade Bubble Bands, number 11. That's what that is. And that is what it looks like. As y'all remember, I was on a quest to find powder blush. Get this Fenty blush, and I did. But yeah, I haven't used Fenty in a minute, so we will. It's very pigmented, so we don't need to do a lot. As you can see, that's just one little tap. It's like, okay, like that's one little tap. That is not multiple taps. Now, it works well with that Soft Touch Bouncy Blush underneath. We are not mixing and matching like different shades and things. Let's see. Y'all know how I love me some Fenty blush, so that looks a little bit bright. I have a lot of blush on. I got a lot of blush on right now. What looks like a lot of blush to me. But I do like it. So let me dust a little bit here. This is my e.l.f. Kabuki brush. I might buy another Kabuki brush. Somebody else made one and I saw it and I was like, ooh, I might buy that one so I can stop using the e.l.f. one. But it is what it is. I bought it and so gotta use it. Alright. So yeah, that turned out really pretty. I like how that turned out. Of course my nose is itching because I've got stuff on my face. Alright, so let's do our under eye and then we are ready to focus on lips and be done. Alright, for the under eye, we're going to use the Essence 24 Ever Ink Liner. That's this. In the shade Intense Black. So, yeah. We do not have any events going on right now. It is the end of May, so my birthday is next month. And we may be going somewhere for that. I don't know. We might wait till July. I don't know. Because time wise, the weekend before my birthday, he is not off. He is off the weekend after, but the weekend after might be an issue. So also too, talking about that, I did get my test results back from the doctor. I gone to the doctor. If y'all will recall, I went to the OBGYN the middle of May. Yeah, the middle of May, about 2 weeks ago. And everything came back good, so we're good. And I'm like, oh, thanks. Because if y'all will recall, my primary was like, you're 45. You said you're going to be 45 in a couple of months. Yeah, go ahead and you need to go talk to somebody, a specialist about your coochie cat. And I'm like, oh, we at the point of a specialist now? Oh, shit. I was not prepared for that. So when she hit me with that, so she was like, listen, I can do all you like regular stuff up until a certain point, but she was like, you fixing to hit 45. Well, you need to, and you're starting to move into another phase of life. And I'm like, this is the time where we have the talk again, isn't it? Yes, it was. She's like, well, you know, the ship has sailed on children, and you are, she says, and you're 45, you're in your mid 40s now. And your body's going to start changing again. And I'm like, I know all of that part, but when the doctor says it's time for you to start thinking about it, you should have already been doing it. So, yeah. So, I went to, she gave me a referral, and I went to go see somebody finally. I found a nice one, and I like the lady that she sent me to. She's a real nice lady. Had a good bedside manner, excellent bedside manner. She made me laugh while I was trying not to think about what was going on. She was poking around in there, so I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't prepared for that, but all right. I was, but I wasn't. I was trying also not to think about it. So, not thinking about it means that I don't tense up, which helps. It helps make that go faster, because the less you're tense, the faster it goes. So, yeah, she real nice lady. I liked her a lot. And so, she did a couple things, and since I was new, she went on ahead and did a few tests, and tests came back great. So we're good. I don't have to do it again for another 5 years. So, but fun times. I get to have my first mammogram, which women's health, important. Women's health. Take care of all your parts. All of them. Go get regular checkups. Go to the doctor. Go talk to people. Like, keep up with your health and make sure it's good. So that's what I've been doing. Also, y'all know I'm diabetic, so I have to have regular checkups anyway, just to keep the diabetes at bay and keep it from doing dumb things like spiking and, causing me to have to get my foot chopped off. So, yes, so in the course of going to my primary care and talking to her, yeah, we had that discussion. So, I like my lady. I like my lady doctor. She's pretty good. I felt good about my visit, and I felt heard and seen. Because, listen, black pain and black doctor visits, and before I even get into that, let me talk about what I'm fixing to do here. This lip liner, this is the Maybelline New York Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner in the shade 150 Brick Red. And then for the lipstick, we're going to use, new product alert, I used this the other day and I liked it. I liked it so much. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick, and it is in the shade Missy and Fierce. This is a nice red lipstick. It dries quickly too. Alright. So I'm gonna line my lips while I'm talking. Yeah, let me tell y'all something about black people and going to the doctor and not being seen or heard. There is this myth that black folks don't feel pain like other people do. That is a lie. That is a straight up lie. Okay? Listen, when I tell you I'm in pain, I'm in pain. So when I go to the doctor and I say, I don't like something that's going on here, I do have a black primary care doctor, and she hears my concerns. And she listens. Now, I wanted a black OBGYN, but I did not get that. So, but my nurse practitioner is female, and I have actually had male gynecologists before, and they were fine. I did not have a problem with them. They were actually great. And they heard me when I said I had concerns. And I didn't feel like I had to plead my case or feel like I had to like be like, oh, here's this mountain of evidence that it's this one thing, and they're like, but actually, really? No, I never had to do that. And I know and I recognize that is privilege, and I am lucky because there are people who have died because of people not listening when they have said they have issues. Listen, black mortality, mother mortality, when it comes to babies, listen, is a problem. It is an epidemic. One thing I'm gonna do is make sure a doctor hear me when I say I have a problem. So, yeah, I had a good experience at the doctor though. So, and I know people who are like, "But do you feel pain though?" Get out of here, white people. And I'm like, absolutely not. You are not gonna sit up here and make me seem like I'm just making shit up. You're not doing that. Mm-mm. And I'm gonna tell you, I had a friend who had chronic conditions, and I got the feeling that I wasn't allowed to be sick. I got the distinct feeling I wasn't allowed to be sick. Only they were allowed to be sick. I couldn't also be sick too. Like, and I'm like, do you think I wanted to be sick? Is that where this is coming from? Why would you think that? This is not an Eric Andre where the man said, why would you say something so courageous and bold? No, I was like, why would you say something so stupid and dumb and bold? Like, that's a hot take if I ever heard one. But yes, there are people out there who think that you are not allowed to be as sick as they are. You are not allowed to be sick in general. They are the only people who are allowed to be sick. And their pain takes precedence. And I'm like, absolutely not. No, it does not. And you will never convince me of that. Never. My pain is just as valid as yours. Get out of here. Like, get out of here. So, yeah. I do not allow that foolishness. I'm not around it a lot. Because I can't deal with that. Because you're not finna sit up here and tell me that my pain is not as valid. Like, I'm not also human. But that is an old trope about black folks too. It's one of the things that why they used us for experiments and surgeries, invasive, non-necessary surgeries during the time of slavery, because they didn't think we felt pain as they did. Or they being non-black folks who owned slaves. Modern gynecology is based off of slavery work and Miss Henrietta Lacks cells. So yes, yeah. All right, so that is y'all's history lesson for today. So, needless to say, everything is cool. I'm good. I'm good. I promise I'm good. Also, this lipstick, as y'all can see, a beautiful red, absolutely stunning matte red, and it is dry on my lips already. It's dry and works well with that lip liner, and that's not Wet n Wild lip liner, which I need to get some Wet n Wild lip liner anyway. So we're going to set the face. And this is the completed look. To set the face, we're going to use the NYX Marshmallow Setting Spray. This is a matte setting spray, matte finish. And we're going to spray her down, and then I got to use Mr. Sweetful. All right, so here we go. Whew. That at least smells good. Ooh, my face is cold. Face is cold. Let's see if I got this on the 2, 3. Okay. I didn't think I had it up high enough. But anyway, so yeah, doctor visit was good. So in terms of budget beauty, what we are doing, and I'm trying to dry my eyes real fast. In terms of budget beauty, we are getting ready to introduce another series, and it will be dealing with doing a full face of makeup using one brand, budget brand, hopefully. I do have some non-budget brands. I have some mid-tiers who I could do a full face with, kind of. I can do that, and I may just say the mid-tiers for their own. Like, this is a face full of mid-tier and high-tier makeup, maybe. But I can do. I have several brands that I can do a full face of that are drugstore and like not slightly not drugstore brands for makeup. So I could do a full face with that. So, for instance, I could do full face of ColourPop, full face of Wet n Wild, full face of Maybelline, full face of L'Oreal if I really, really wanted to. Trying to think who else. I think my face is dry here. I can do a full face of all of that. She Glam. I could do a full face of She Glam. So I guess I could do a full face of Elf if I wanted to. I guess I could do a full face of Elf. I don't have any Elf blush though, so there's that. So maybe not. And I don't have Elf No, I do have Elf mascara. I do actually have Elf mascara. But I'd have to buy Elf blush, and I don't really want to do that. So I don't know if I want to do a full face of Elf. I don't have Elf lipsticks either, which is great. I could do a full face of Sephora. So the Sephora collection. And I have a lot of options for that. So I can do a full face of several brands. NYX also. So that's why I'm thinking I'm going to do a new series, and we'll do for each brand. It'll be a separate episode showcasing doing the full face from start to finish. So we're gonna work on that and get started on that and getting that set up, and then I'll do the episode and post it. So I look forward to starting that. That's gonna be fun. Just to see, and I do have to buy a few things like Juvia's Place. Juvia's Place is another one I can do a full face. I do not have a Juvia's Place lip liner, and I do not have Juvia's Place eyeliner, so I would need to buy those things. So probably I'll do other episodes before I get there, and just wait and put those later so that I can buy the products that I need to do it, that I'm missing. So, all right, this is the completed look. I really actually like how this turned out. I like how my hair turned out. My hair is really cute. Those curls are massive because I used my new curling iron, and I really like that curling iron. It held my curls this time. The first time I curled my hair with that curling iron, my curls kept falling because my hair was a little bit too straight. I needed a little bit of resistance in the hair. So, because like I say, my hair is very coarse and very thick. So I had straightened it, and I straightened it. I used a flat iron, and I hot combed it. I pressed it. I did a press on it. So it was very, very not thin, because my hair is never going to be entirely straight. even with a ton of heat to it. It's never going to be unless I put like a perm in it. And I haven't had a perm in it in 2011, so 15 years. So yeah, I haven't I'm not planning to put a perm in there. And even with that, my hair would never get 100% straight. It's always going to be very kinky and very coarse and very thick. It is beautiful. I love it. It is absolutely beautiful. I'm fell in love with my hair, and you guys can see. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this little strand right here, it looks like it's something in my hair, but it's not. That is actually a gray strand. This little strand right here is a gray strand. I can see it a lot more, and I see one over here too, right here. I can see them a lot more when I straighten out my hair. But I do see them even when I like have it not straight. Like if I just washed it and whatever, you can see it real well. See, there's strands here in the front. Now it's still a lot, like it's probably like 99.9% black hair up here. But every so often there's a strand of gray in there. So I very seldom let my hair down when I'm out in the street. So yeah, it reminds me actually of when I was doing this, I thought about it. I was like, this reminds me of the muses from Hercules. Which I would love to cosplay as the muses. We're supposed to be getting a group together with a couple of friends to do it. And I was like, I would love to do the muses. I absolutely would love to do the muses because I did love, the muses were like the best part of Hercules. I loved Hercules. Don't get me wrong. Hercules as a movie is hilarious. But I love the muses because the muses took you to church. Okay. When they was talking about about Hercules, she said, bless my soul, Herc was on a roll. I was like, oh, she going to church. Okay. Also, I was in chorus at the time when Hercules came out. So, but yes, the muses are like my favorites. But it reminds me of the muses. And I was like, I could do the muses for Halloween. One of the muses at least. But yes. So, yes, I also too was in chorus for years. And then I kind of like dropped it when I was in 11th grade. Just didn't want to do it anymore. It was not fun. And I never could make the main chorus. So it was just like, okay, well, no, thank you then. I got the hint. You don't have to tell me a million times. No, I got the hint. So, and then the choral director at the time of my high school had the nerve, longtime choral director, mind you, had the nerve to be like, well, I was going to put you in the next year. I'm like, no, thank you. First of all, I was like your fourth or fifth choice. And you kept playing in my face with this. So no, thank you. I'm not interested. I was interested 2 years ago. I was interested my freshman year. I was interested between 8th and 9th grade. And you decided that I wasn't good enough. So now all of a sudden I'm good enough? Okay. All right. Whatever. It's because your first and second choice said no. Whatever. So I very much was like, yeah, no, thank you. So yeah. Not a singer anymore. I mean, I enjoy singing around the house, and my husband sings also. My husband has a beautiful singing voice. He's absolutely a stunning singing voice. So I'm pretty sure our kids, if we'd had kids together, probably would have had some type of musical ability, something. Because both of us sang in chorus. He was not in our high school chorus though. So there's that. I was, but he was not. I'm surprised he doesn't sing on the choir for church. When he goes to our church, I'm very surprised he doesn't sing on the choir. But my mother-in-law is on the choir, so I'm like, okay, you can have that, thanks. And she steadily was trying to get me involved. I was like, please don't tell her I'm doing other stuff. And I don't want to be on choir with her. I'm also pretty sure my parents-in-law don't know that I actually have some type of musical ability. I've never talked about it, and I've never made it a point to talk about it. Because I'm like, if you wanted to know, you would have asked. And you didn't care to ask, so you don't need to know. So, clearly you don't care. So, I'm not volunteering that information for you to be like, oh, I didn't know you could sing. Okay. No, thank you. So I told our church, because we all attend the same church. I told my church, I was like, when they were all like, do you want to sign up for any like church things? And she was like, well, you said you were in chorus for, with school. She was like, do you want to, you thinking about choir? And I'm like, yeah, no, my mother-in-law's on the choir. And she's like, oh, she is, isn't she? And I was like, mm-hmm. And she's like, so I'm assuming you don't want to be in choir. Correct. That's correct. She's like, oh. I was like, yeah, please don't tell her that. Yeah, no. So, I was on communications there for a minute, and then her friend was also on communications, one of her friends. And I was like, So I'm sure she went back and told my mother-in-law that I was on the communications committee. But, it's whatever, because I don't even know if I'm on communications committee anymore. So there's that. I doubt that I am. I would know. I don't know nothing about it. So I'm like, I guess not. So anyway, this is the completed look. We are finished. I like how everything turned out. This was great. And I think that this is a viable, purple look. For a purple dress. I have several purple dresses, for the summer that I can wear. And I have a purple cardigan, and, I think I do have a purple, check skirt that's like an A-line skirt that I wear my crinoline with. I did get both of my crinolines in. I'm very excited. I got both of them in. I don't know if I mentioned that. I was waiting for two new crinoline skirts, and I was looking at the last time I did the buying and trying, I was looking at the black one in here. I was waiting on it to come, and it finally came. And so, I was waiting on my white one to come. I ordered a black one and a white one from the same place. And then the black one got here on time, but the white one took an extra 5 days. And I was like, but Prime shipping. So, okay, Amazon. What am I paying for Prime shipping for? So, anyway, most of the time my stuff comes on time. Well, for whatever reason, this was sitting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana for like a couple of days extra. So, yeah, I now have, I have it. So, yeah, we are ready to go. So now I do have, I have a new black crinoline and a new white crinoline, and both of them fit correctly. I've tried them on. They fit correctly. So I'm very excited. So I have purple things to wear when I want to do this purple makeup again. I really liked how the eyes turned out with that deep, amethyst added. And, I like how, my hair came together, and I like this red. This red is stunning. I like how the blush came together. The blush is blushing. I really like how all this came together. So I am gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming in and sitting here doing this long form content and watching me paint my face up. So please be on the lookout. Like I say, we're going to be possibly starting a new series very shortly. Probably, and I think I might do it on Fridays. It depends on what my schedule is looking like. But generally, Wednesdays and Fridays will probably be the easiest day for me to do it. Because I am already home and I don't have anywhere to be generally during the week because it's a school night. So Fridays are not. But I will be starting that new series with the full face. So I have to get graphics together and all of that. So it'll take some time. But be on the lookout for that. So thank you for watching. Come back in and watch more of my videos later. Thank you for supporting. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you later. Peace.